How would you advise people to approach the historical information about Jesus?
When we come to a historical study of Jesus of Nazareth, we immediately confront an enormous stumbling block right at the start. Namely, the story of Jesus of Nazareth from start to finish is a story of miracles. The Scripture claims that he was born and conceived of a virgin, that he was God incarnate, that he performed various miracles and healings, that he exorcised demonic spirits, that he had clairvoyant knowledge, that he was able to predict the future, and ultimately, of course, that he rose from the dead and ascended into heaven. Now, how do you make sense of these sorts of events which are miraculous in nature? If you come to the Gospels with the presupposition that miracles are impossible, that every event in history has a purely natural explanation, then obviously you will not be able to make sense of the Gospels. You are going to have to regard them as non-historical and mythological in what they report. But would such a presupposition be justified? Well, it seems to me that that is a deeper philosophical question which New Testament critics really are not very well equipped to address. This is a question that needs to be addressed by philosophers and metaphysicians, because really it's ultimately a question about the existence of God. If there is a creator and designer of the universe who has brought it into being, then if such a being exists, clearly he could intervene in the course of history and perform miraculous acts. And so in the absence of some sort of a proof of atheism, it seems to me that we have to be open to the possibility of miracles. It would be bad methodology to simply dismiss these in advance before even looking at the evidence that they might have actually occurred. Otherwise, we could be ruling out the true hypothesis simply on the basis of a philosophical presupposition for which we have no justification. And it's interesting to note that in modern science, for example, in physics, scientists are quite willing to talk about realities which are quite literally metaphysical in nature, realities which are beyond our spatiotemporal dimensions, realities which we cannot directly perceive or know, but which we may infer by certain, as it were, signposts of transcendence in the universe to something beyond it. And perhaps the miracles are like that. Jesus regarded his miracles as signs of the inbreaking of God's kingdom. Perhaps these miracles in the life of Jesus are, as it were, signposts of transcendence to something beyond the universe, something greater, breaking in a dramatic way in the life and ministry of Jesus of Nazareth. And it seems to me that as open-minded people, we simply cannot exclude this in advance without looking at the evidence. We have to be willing to look at the evidence and follow it where it leads.